Tribal and peasant uprising have been one of the very important topics in the recent times, commonly asked. So we'll talk about this one by one. The first one is the Santhal Hul. Now Santhal Hul, which was led by two important leaders, Sidhu and Kanu, and this was to remove the Dikus. Dikus were the outsiders, and this was for the land revenue policies to be protected. So the marginalized group was protecting their own rights, and this was a resistance which was brought specifically in the areas of Rajmahal Hill in the present day Bihar. The next was Munda Rebellion. Munda Rebellion was led by Birsa Munda. This was also known as the Great Tamtil, and this rebellion actually aimed to establish tribal autonomy and bring in or reclaim the ancestral lands and rights which were there. Also, in light of Birsa Munda, there is the Janjati Gaurav Divas, which is separated every 15th November to praise his legacy and his bravery and the bravery of the tribal community in general, right? The next important was the Mapila Rebellion. This was in Malabar. Now, this was because of the agrarian distress in the region on the coast of Malabar in Kerala, and the links were very, very close to the Khilafat movement at that time. The next important one was the Munda we have done. Then the next important one was the Sannyasi Rebellion. Now Sannyasi Rebellion has been very, very important. It talked about the displaced peasants and wandering monks who had been fighting for their rights. The next came the Indigo Rebellion, which was again for the indigo cultivation, and the resistance which was for the forced cultivation of indigo, which was asked by the Europeans. The next was the Pabna Agrarian Leagues. Now this was again for the illegal increase in the rent prices and the evictions which was imposed by the zamindars at that time. Besides this, two important movements, the Tibaga and the Telangana movement. Now this was one of the movements which were again for the peasants, by the peasants, and this was for having a higher share for the harvest and also removing any kind of feudal land ownership at that time. Now if we look on to all these revolts, the idea was very, very simple. These were driven either by the debts that the peasants or the tribals had at that time, or by the heavy colonial taxes which were imposed on them, or there was a loss of the land rights, the traditional forest areas that they had because of the infrastructural development and colonization, the exploitation of the money lenders or the zamindars. So all this was the basic idea which led to these uprisings, and these uprisings had a very, very crucial role in ultimately the final revolt which led to the independence of India. So thanks for joining. We'll be covering more important topics for you. Stay tuned. Have a wonderful day.